Hey guys, this is the Scranton MMA Show. This is Frank.
I'm Jess,
This is Tom.
and last week I talked about this shady Instagram purchase that I made, but it actually turned out to be really awesome. This is called the Tentacle, Tenikle. So it's like a starfish inspired tripod, camera holder, whatever you want it to be. So, 3 points. You could bend it to make a little tripod, and there's like a little thing that you can pull out of the top here. You see it? So that you can like screw in your camera.
That's pretty cool.
You can make stands with it. I'm not really like super used to it, but so if you like fold it up, and then you can stick your phone in it,
Nice.
or I figured out for the gym when we take videos, stick it to the phone, and then I could stick it to, can you see this? A surface like this. This probably isn't that safe because I'm trying to do it too quickly. But stick it to
Yeah, I
that,
like that.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
then
cool.
use the rear camera. Because I was being a dummy, and I was trying to put it on the back of the camera, which I have like a porous
Case,
surface,
yeah.
so it doesn't stick. And then if I stick it to the pop socket, it spins down. So I was like, man, like this is kind of like a junky purchase. But then I realized, like, if I'm sticking it to the back of the phone, then I'm using the front camera as my camera. So the back camera is just better quality video. So I stick it to the glass on the front, and then I get to use the back camera. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
So we want to record more stuff. So hopefully you'll see us recording matches more, recording instruction more. We'll go on Facebook, go on our members group. But I think that's something that can add a lot of value to people training here. Maybe even some value to people not training here, training other places. But especially like our Q&A, I think that's awesome that like when the jiu-jitsu classes end like that, judo classes end like that. And I love watching sparring. I know some people have a thing like, don't put sparring online. I'm not fighting for no WrestleMania belt or anything anytime soon. I love watching matches of me sparring. I get to learn a lot from it.
I actually did start. I recorded a couple matches of myself last week.
Put them up in the members group.
Yeah, well, one of them I got like a little mad at Frank, so I don't.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever trained with someone, don't worry, it happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Training with your significant other, but I want to get some like feedback first, because we have a lot of couples who train here.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
they all train differently.
I'll tell stories of like when me and Rachel would work out together, and
Yeah.
I mean, I love you. It's great, but yeah, no, it's just different.
He stopped. He
Yeah,
stopped
wait a
that
minute.
story.
Yeah,
He stopped
wait,
it.
hold on.
He's
Now I'm gonna-
he's like,
I'm getting that scripted.
what's next?
Yeah. So what's the next topic? No, but I definitely think having recorded sparring sessions for other people to watch, for you to watch, is a good way to improve the pace that you're learning.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it real and
No,
it's right there.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
let's definitely get on that and put more stuff up.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I like
Come
it.
down.
Okay. So this weekend we had our judo promotional.
Yes, we did. So it was a great week for judo. It was a great 12 or 24 hours in a row of judo. Friday we had a road trip. It was awesome. One of the cool things was me and Vito went, and then it was like 3 females who train here. So the ladies represented, went out to Jersey, did really well against all the other girls there, did really well against all the guys they fought too. So Masaka, Christina, and Olivia all went, and they did great. It was cool. A lot of black belts were there. I'm not gonna lie, I think Vito stole the show with what he taught. Because at first people were like, "Oh, whatever, guys just teach." And then everyone was like, "Oh, wait a minute." You could see people were getting drawn in, like it was like some epic movie. And then when they practiced it, people were like, "Holy crap!" I had to go after him, so I'm like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, just do this thing. It was cool. There were 2 jiu-jitsu black belts there. One was definitely good. I got to roll with him. So that's always fun, getting your guard passed like it's butter. Yeah, I felt great. And then the other guy showed this really, it's like a very standard armbar, but for me, at my level, the details he showed definitely improved it and like gave me like the confidence to do it again. I'm like, I don't do that because I'm not good at it. He showed me some stuff. I'm like, ooh, maybe I could start doing this again.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to give that a shot. The promotional was awesome. We promoted 9 people. The short story is everyone that was eligible for promotion got promoted. What we did is we allowed a bunch of people to test who weren't quite ready. I thought that was a real good idea because it lets them get used to the testing. And as instructors now, we're like, all right, you might need work in this, you might need work on that. The truth is everyone did really good. Everyone got promoted. So there's going to be a lot of new belt wearing on the judo mat, which is cool. The biggest promotion was Carm. Carm went from green belt to brown belt. Carm's extremely effective.
Yeah.
He's got such a great background in combat sports, mainly his wrestling background, like world class at that. So it spreads over, but we tested Carm only on his ability to demonstrate judo and know judo, and he aced his test to get his brown belt. So it was very cool. Congrats to Carm. Congrats to everyone else. It was definitely really cool to watch everyone test. Everyone did really well. Really pumped up about judo going on at Scranton MMA.
Nice.
It was very cool.
Just a little side note. I know Carm's like a good study. He's just like when he gets into something, he's like into it. And he's
Yeah.
like
So I'll
detailed.
say this: like 2-ish, 3-ish weeks ago, he's like, Sensei, what's this mean? What's this mean? What's this mean? What's this mean? What's
I
this
can see
mean?
that.
And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be close. And like that, he's like, oh, this word means this. This is this. This knows that. And he tested like a champ.
Nice.
But like
Awesome.
that's the thing. Yeah, he goes in. He went all the way in, and his testing was great. So it was awesome. You can do some stuff. It's all right. Sensei Allison just popped in, wanted to do some stuff. But no, Carm tested great. Very happy for him. And it shows what you can do when you put some work in.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so we're gonna make the switch into some questions that we've had. So thanks for sending in your questions. Keep sending them
Yes,
because
it helps us a lot.
yeah, it keeps the conversation flowing for sure. So we're going to talk about doing techniques on both sides. So learning like a pass, going right and left, whether it's judo, striking, jiu-jitsu. What do you guys think about, should you learn it on only one side and be like really good at one side, or should you know both? Should you practice both?
So for the jiu-jitsu side of it, I think you should always practice both. And I actually got this idea from Polito. He preaches it is work your bad side first, because then you're gonna always have to think of like the small details and everything. You know what I mean? And that'll help you progress faster in the technique. So me personally, I think using both sides is best. I do everything left-handed, even though I'm right-handed, and that was because I practice everything left-handed. And then especially for when it comes to competing or traveling or doing your best in sparring itself, a lot of schools only do stuff one-sided. So I think it gives you a little bit of an edge if you pass left foot forward, and by all means, work both. I could pass both left and right foot forward just as well, I feel. It's just I always go left foot forward first. So it really does help, in my opinion. Some people might disagree with it, and that's fine, but to me, working both sides is the way to work.
So for judo, my answer is a little different. I don't want to say it's not debatable, but for most of the population, if you want to be a competitor, Jimmy Pedro has this great phrase, and it's you fight for your stance, and then you fight from your stance. one stance. That's it. The first thing is you have to be able to establish that you're going to be right foot forward, like not get punked out with your grips, not get overpowered, moved around, so that you can stay right foot forwards. In judo, it's opposite of striking. We lead with our strong side, we lead with our strong hip and our strong hand. And if someone's able to take you out of that stance, or when you're able to do it to somebody, it's like you fight half the strength. You're fighting like a 12-year-old kid instead of like a 30-year-old man. Like it just completely flips it. So for competitors, if you want to be a good competitive judo player, 90+% of the people have one stance. That's what you're fighting for. That's what you're fighting from. And then 80+% of your attacks rotate in just one direction. So you do need a certain amount of techniques where you would rotate the other direction, but it's a much smaller subset. The way I'll go against that answer is if that's not what you care about. So if you want like traditional martial arts like jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu and things like that, your sensei shows it the right side and the left side. So you do 10 to the right, 10 to the left,
Yeah.
And if that's what you want just to do it, then by all means. But just realize your progress and effectiveness will get cut not in half, but like 4, 5, 10-fold. Because you want to just train your body to do it one way as best as possible to beat the best. That's what judo is about, overall effectiveness, against a strong resisting opponent. And you're just going to get better results only training your body to do it one way. So there's obviously, some pitfalls to that, but overall it's going to be a faster pace to like throw a black belt if you're just doing it one way. So that's what judo's all about. What do you got?
I don't really like train both sides like when I'm doing jujitsu usually, but if I'm like rolling and I'm like forced to go one way just because of what they're giving me, then I feel like I can handle it, but I don't really like train both sides usually, not that I can really think of, but I know it's striking. Like I'm usually, I call it the dummy side, so I'll do my dummy side first, because with Polito, it's just like his philosophy is to like learn it on your bad side first so that you can really break down the technique, because like you said, if you put a judo person out of their stance, it like really takes their technique level down.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way when you're learning. Like if you put me on my dummy side, then I become a dummy. Like
That's what's called the dummy side.
Yeah, like I'm like half my normal technique. So
Yeah.
then if I'm forced to like really think through something, then I'm forced to like really understand it. And then when I go on my smart side, then it's like that much better.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It depends on what you're doing and who you're working with, who your instructor is.
Yeah.
But I don't really see a problem with like working on both sides.
It's cool to see like how different people approach it or what works
Yeah.
for them. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to in the end. Like, if for some reason I kept trying to pass left foot forward, I'm sure Frank would eventually be like, don't do that. You're going to get your head, ripped off.
Yeah.
You want to work that, but, so it's cool to see what's working for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, move on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into techniques for body types. So, there's articles and Facebook posts about working certain techniques for your body type in jiu-jitsu. So whether you're like short, tall, skinny, larger, there's some people have the idea that you should only be working on certain things. But I don't know. Let's see what Frank has to say.
I'll say this when it comes to body types. There's certain techniques that you'll probably gravitate towards faster depending on your body type. So if you're shorter, going underneath somebody is going to be a lot easier. And that doesn't necessarily mean you should be pigeonholed to those type of ideas too, because what if you go get somebody shorter than you? What if you go get somebody, you're used to being the tallest person,
Good point.
and you go get somebody that's even taller. So it'd be hard.
In competition where you were so used to fighting one way, and then this like even taller dude comes in, and it was
and you can't
like
stretch them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. So my my idea on that is you should work on that, but you'll naturally start gravitating towards that. It's not so much, and we kind of discussed it a little bit before the video when we were writing down these ideas. It's not so much sticking to one game plan or one. You have to know what limitations you are. What if you're taller, it's gonna be easier to like throw on a triangle. But one of the best triangle people before he did the guillotine was Marcelo, and he's short and stubby, So once you get the triangle when you're shorter, once you get the triangle when you're shorter, it's going to be a lot tighter. I know for a good example is like Charlie and Shane. They're super tall, but they're not big triangle guys because they have trouble finishing it because their legs are so long. Yeah. So like that goes to a good idea of like you do what's given to you,
And I think one of the people that used to train here, some of you know him, some of you don't, Steve Paragallo. He's like a big, strong guy, but he is like super flexible and will play those flexible, like, inverted, De La Hiva, like all those kinds of things, and you wouldn't expect that from
that's a
person
huge
like
bonus.
him.
No one expects him to be doing that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I think you definitely don't have to do what the Jiu-Jitsu Society wants you to do. I think whatever you like to do, whatever you think is cool, whatever you think is effective for you, is what you should be doing.
The first thing I want to say is I love that really in all the sports or martial arts we teach here, success or like a body type isn't like a prerequisite for success, right? Like I used to love basketball and everyone got like a foot and a half taller than me and I hated basketball. The other sport I played was hockey. Hockey is like one of the professional sports where you don't necessarily need to be 6'1", 220, but still most people are. I love in judo, jiu-jitsu, like you can be a world champ with whatever you got. So I think that's awesome, first of all. And then, I like here especially that we don't force a style. Just because Frank has like a certain game, we don't impose that on our students. So you're able to like discover what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of times body type's going to help with that. But I think with, jiu-jitsu, judo, everything, like the internet now makes everything so much accessible. So you might see some so for me, I might see some like tall, lanky judo guy and I'm like, I want to do that. And like, it just might make me be able to study it, get into it, and I see it more. Where like, 20 years when I started, my coach was like, you're short. Short people do Cianagi. This is Cianagi. And I just did it. And that's what made me like it, so I stuck with it. But I think now you're able to like see short people doing leggy throws or, big guys having setups to get underneath people. So, don't let yourself get pigeonholed just because someone's like, you're short, do short stuff, you're big, do big stuff. Like, test it out, because then if you get it, people don't see it coming, and then like you said too, you're more prepared against that other body type. I hate when I go out and I have to fight someone who's like an inch shorter than me and like just a little bit bigger and wider. I'm like, crap. Now how am I going to get under this little guy? Now I'm thinking like, oh, I have to go to my other moves, stuff like that. I love when like I got to fight some big tall guy. Like I'm used to that. Everyone's taller than me, so when I go compete and it's a tall guy, I'm like very comfortable. When I get like a short, stocky looking dude, I'm like, this is different.
I'm the opposite. I like having shorter people because I just have like long legs, so I can just like spider guard them or do that kind of stuff, keep them away and work on sweeps.
Yeah.
But then like takedowns are hard on short people.
Yeah, we're like already on the ground. We're like already down there. Yeah.
But I do like having that height advantage, like looking down at a person. It's just like a psychological. Not on you though. Like you're what, like
5'12", 13. Give or take 5'6"-ish.
Okay,
I don't know.
so we're like kind of the same-ish height, but like on you because you have so much experience. Like I don't look at you and be like, oh my god, like I'm gonna throw this guy. But if it's like in a competition and the girl's like way shorter, I kind of feel like a little extra confident. Yeah.
It's just what you're used to. I think it helps like whatever edge you can get.
Yeah.
And then if you're comfortable, or if not, just go after it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So next we're gonna cover rest days. Super important. So people want to know when, how often, what do you like to do? Rest days. Go.
Rest days.
Yeah.
You know what I heard recently that I definitely want to share? Like when you think you need a rest day, don't take it today.
Yeah.
Work out. Even if you're just kind of going through the motions, work out and see how you feel tomorrow to see if you really need a rest day. Because most of the times you're just bored, or that laziness is getting a voice in your brain and weakness is creeping in. So take it tomorrow. With that being said, my favorite thing is I like to schedule when my rest days are. So it's not just like, oh, let me just like tonight's judo, no rest on Monday. I'm going to judo. If I don't feel great, it doesn't matter. I go to judo. You know, I take rest days when they're like scheduled and planned out. You know, there are times where if you're not used to your schedule, maybe you do need to just listen to your body and take a rest day. For me, sometimes it is just rest. I'm just trying to chill, do nothing. I like the idea more so of like the active recovery days. So like get some stretching in. If you could go for a quick jog or a light workout to get the blood flowing. You know, I think that's better generally than doing nothing. But you know, it's all going to depend. But overall, I like to think of I schedule my rest days. You know, when I was training like 6 days a week, it was generally Sunday was like the day I saved for rest, and that's when I just cooked a ton of food, watched football, did nothing, and got like hungry to train on Monday. But then like Monday through Saturday we trained or traveled, so like there was no rest days. But like we knew Sunday would be the day to like rest and recoup. You know, I think it also should be based around your goals. So if you're like a 19-year-old kid who wants to be world champion, you don't have 3 rest days. You don't. Or just understand like that's not what every other 19-year-old who wants to be a world champ is doing. You know, so I like the idea of scheduling them around your goals and with how much you can train.
Yeah. For me, rest days, since I'm here so often, even on my rest days, I'll be here. If I feel like, and there's a difference between, I could tell there's a difference between me being a little lazy or just a little sore compared to I'm gonna get hurt. Like if I push a little bit further, I'm gonna get hurt. So I'll be here, I'll teach the classes, I'll do the moves, but I might not necessarily spar that much that day, or I won't spar with people that are way bigger and like to be a little bit more active. I'll be like, all right, let me take the more technical people. So to me, that's my rest days. Besides Sunday, that's the only day where I do absolutely nothing. And I like it.
Video games.
Yeah, video games. That to me is how I can tell when I need a rest day. And every once in a while, sometimes it'll be once a week, sometimes it'll be no times a week. I'll feel great the whole week. But like I said, I'm here all the time. I think Tommy's right when it comes to if you feel like if it's a scheduled day that you're supposed to train and you feel like you want to take a day off, still work out and see how you feel tomorrow. I really like that idea.
Yeah, that hit home when I heard it. I'm like, oh, I probably was just being weak, being weak, letting weakness get too much of a voice, and just do it. Go through the motions. You know, if it's not the best day of training ever, it was better than sitting home having a milkshake.
And especially because not everybody trains 6 days a week. It's usually 2 to 4 days a week. So if you only work out 2 days a week, you're taking rest day a majority of the week. So
that's your rest.
you don't necessarily need to take those days off. And I think we have a schedule, especially for beginners, because that's probably who's more worried about taking rest days, right? Because once you've been doing this for a while, you already know your groove, you know. So we limit the beginner classes for the time slots each week, so people don't get burned out and get too injured or too sore. So that's one good thing I really like about our schedule.
Yeah, it helps avoid that burnout and overtraining
Yeah.
and injuries. Yeah.
I get like mentally burned out. I train like Monday through Thursday, kind of like chill out on Friday, train Saturday, and then Sunday's always just like running around, see family, stuff like that. But by like Thursday night, like work all day, train at night, like doing that 4 days in a row. By Thursday night at 7 o'clock, when it's time to train, I'm just like, oh, I do not feel like it. But you know, I usually have like Taikiro who's like, well, come on, like let's go through the moves. I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then by the time it's time to roll, I'm usually more into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see everybody else doing it. I'm like, oh, that looks, it's fun. I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I always am gonna love jujitsu, but it's just like the mental burnout can get to you sometimes. So
That's why I don't mind Wednesdays off.
yeah,
I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays off, and then I'm like itching. Just by that, I'm already itching for Thursday. And Thursday's a hard judo day. Like
Yeah.
you know you're like, oh, hydrate. It don't matter. You're gonna be smoked. Eat right. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be smoked.
yeah.
But like I'm actually like looking for. I'm like, good. I had off Wednesday. I need to burn all these calories. I need to catch up a workout.
Yeah.
So like Thursdays, I'm like amped up because I had Wednesday off.
Yeah.
So I wish I could get more workouts in after that, but you know, it is what it is. Get what I
Yeah.
can get in.
Yeah.
Rest days.
Rest days. That's how they are. Do we want to talk more?
I think that's pretty good.
I'm good.
We hit a long time. Hopefully, you guys listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
We do appreciate the questions, so please keep asking them. It helps us, especially on our end, knowing what you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
If there's something you don't like, maybe we talk about too much or not enough, or just let us know. We're kind of playing this by ear and just
Yeah.
we've been winging it every week, so it's been working well. I think everybody's enjoying it, and we just need your guys' help to improve this content.
Like it. Technical. Check it out if you want something to hold your phone and your camera.
Yeah, if you want us like filming stuff. If you don't too, if you're one of those people, don't film me rolling, cool. Get over it. But for now, cool.
Yeah.
But we should definitely get to filming more. I really like it.
Yeah.
So
Or if you guys want us to talk more about events that recently happened outside of the gym, like I know the PAMs just happened in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. I need to get caught up on that
Me too.
today, but feel free. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Any sort of MMA fights we could talk about, you know.
cover that a bit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone. Appreciate it.
Bye.